Good morning people, hello and welcome to another vlog episode of the India Darshan travel series. So I just woke up and I got ready at the Marathon Resort out here in Ayodhya. So as you've seen in the previous vlog, I've already been to the Saryu Ghat where I enjoyed the evening aarti by the river banks. So today's plan is to go visit some of the key temples in Ayodhya region. So we're going to start heading out and probably grab some street food along the way. So let's get started. So as the marketplace gets really crowded, decided to just leave the Fortuner behind and just go for a walk instead. Should be between the ghat and the market on the other side. It's about a 4-kilometer stretch, and there's a lot of shuttle buses and buses that ferry up and down, and they take about, I think the autos take about 10 rupees or something. But walking is also fun, so I can stop by different shops. Along the way, we'll see if I can get some local delicacies or some street food or something like that. And there are a lot of different temples around here, so I won't have time to visit all of them because, as you saw in some of the clips from yesterday, there's a lot of crowd around here. There's nothing like a peak season anymore. It's like visiting season every day now. So have to see how much time it takes, and probably gonna pick a couple of prominent ones for now. Just one fact to keep in mind if you're deciding to stay at this homestay: we are very close to the railway tracks and the trains run 24/7. So you will hear a lot of train noise, sometimes even train honks. I suppose they didn't honk at night, but there was still like a lot of train noise running up and down the track. So it's not too bad, at least for me, but just something you can keep in mind if you're staying in this area. So nice and peaceful early in the morning. No traffic, nobody. Yesterday I got stuck here in the traffic jam for a train crossing itself. So they made this kind of a narrow street for the shops. They are all pushed inside, and then there's the pedestrian crossing. That's the main road. So yeah, parking is a little bit tricky out here. I did find one parking spot up ahead last night when I was walking around, somewhere close to the Ram temple. I went there for dinner later. But yeah, other than that, there's no like proper parking every couple of steps or something like that. So better to just walk out here. Although when it comes to visiting the temple, it doesn't matter in which sequence you visit them. But here there is a saying that since this is Lord Ram's birthplace and Hanumanji was his kind of guardian and protector, so Ayodhya was also protected by Hanumanji on command by Lord Ram. So you have to visit the Hanuman temple first, kind of take his blessing / permission to go visit the Ram temple afterwards. So that's what I'm going to go and do. So go to Hanuman Garhi first, take the blessings of Lord Hanuman, and then go to the newly renovated Ram temple afterwards. And none of these temples allow cameras or phones or anything on the inside. So at the entrance, when I keep my backpack, until there is where you're going to see the vlogs, and then I'll probably summarize my experience afterwards. I'm just a little bit scared of the amount of crowd I have to face and how many hours I'm going to spend standing in queues on the inside, but I'm here for it anyway, so let's go do it. And you can see there are some guest houses, homestays. So all of these buildings are now converted, well, some of them, into homestays. The rest are shops. And some of these shops, I think they got run down when they were making these roads and stuff. So their ownership changed. So the board sign says something else, and underneath they're doing something else. But nonetheless, on this road, while it may seem convenient for you to stay here and access both the ghat and the temple easily using the e-rickshaws and stuff, parking, yeah, just keep that in mind. That says it's a robot restaurant. There's supposedly a humanoid robot serving you food. Wonder if the pricing of the food goes up because of that. If we get a chance, maybe we'll try and explore and reverse engineer how things work at a robot restaurant. The bus stops here are really cool. Try to give them some sort of a traditional design and a rustic touch with the paint. So Yesterday, while exploring accommodations, I was thinking of going here as well. It says AC bed available, but I think this is more of a dormitory. And while I was looking for a place, they had like busloads of people coming inside. So I was not sure if I was going to get one anyway. And with the gadgets, I tried to reduce my time in the dormitory now for safety reasons. So yeah, that's another possibility. It's also on this road. So this road is called the Rampath, I think, or Ayodhya Dham Marg. And then here you have accommodations lined up here, food restaurants, and some have kind of nice shifted in the interior because this is now in the main road. Yeah, here it says it's the Rampath. So the temple is 1.2 kilometers from here, and the new ghat is about 3 kilometers from here. I'm just gonna keep heading straight. The building under construction, probably they are making some sort of a guest house. So as I mentioned in the previous vlog, a lot of it is under construction, so the resources are trying to catch up with the demands, but it's going to take a while. It's nearly been a year since the temple opened up earlier this year, but yeah, it's going to take some time for demand and supply to match. Made it to the Hanuman temple. It's built like a fort. That's the temple inside, and it's up on a hill, so gets a better vantage point since Hanumanji used this for protection of the city. We'll go inside. See you after the darshan. Inside, as you can see, it's extremely crowded for the people trying to go in. Spend about 30 to 40 minutes in and out, like a full round trip. It's cramped inside, but to come out it's relatively free. There are no lockers here, so you get to carry your bags and everything all the way to the inside. Sleepers also you have to drop at one of these shops around. So when you do that, remember the name, take a picture, because all of them are identical and symmetric. So I'm gonna go grab my slippers from here, and I think they'll sell me something. I'm gonna try and eat one of the desserts, which is called the khurchan peda, made out of scrapings. So that tasted very nice yesterday. Gonna grab one of those. It's sort of like a donation / payment for keeping my slippers. Let's go grab them. Slippers. I kept mine at this Tripada Khurchan Peda shop, and I asked the guy what's the khurchan, like the scrapings made of, and he said they boil the milk for 7 hours on low flame, and then they take the scrapings and make peda out of it. And UP government has even given him awards. That big piece was like 25 rupees a piece, so it was very tasty. I'm gonna go walk around in the market a little bit more to try something else, and then start heading towards Ram Mandir, because I think that's also as crowded as this one. Piece of information that I forgot to mention: because it gets extremely crowded on the inside, you have to be very careful with children and elderly. I saw one grandma faint and she was lying on the side, and the push from the crowd was so much that we couldn't even stop to give her water, so we had to ask one of the lady cops to help her out. So try not to risk it if it's that's the situation, because it gets very risky. It's a very narrow space, it's very cramped, and I wonder in the summers it would get even harder. chokha. Here they're calling it bati chokha, the one that I had in Bihar, and it's stuffed with sattu. And it's a little bit on the spicy side because they have a heavy amount of ginger and garlic. So now I need some more dessert before I end up at the Ram temple. I think it's just straight up ahead. I can already start to see the bow and arrow marker.
बहुत टेस्टी बार होना है।
ये क्या फल है भैया? कंदमूल फल। बड़ा क्या शकरकंदी का भाई होता है क्या ये?
ये कंदमूल फल है जो श्री राम जी ने 14 वर्ष वनवास में खाया।
अच्छा, क्या एक चखने के लिए मिल सकता है?
बस का एक है, 50 का चाहिए।
एक दे दीजिए। खट्टा होता है मीठा होता है?
स्वादिष्ट फल होता है।
अच्छा देना। So found Makhan Malai, and right next to him is this bhaiya seated. He's basically giving this fruit that Lord Ram had while he was on his exile. It's 10 rupees a slice. हाँ भैया, माखन मलाई आपका हो तो क्या?
ये मक्खन मलाई अयोध्या का बहुत प्रसिद्ध मक्खन मलाई है।
हाँ,
ये बहुत फेमस है यहाँ का।
20 रुपए की प्लेट। बनता कैसे है? बनता कैसे है ये?
दूध से बनता जी।
दूध से?
दूध को उछाला जाता है, फेंटा जाता है दूध को।
हाँ,
उससे तैयार किया जाता है।
तो मलाई भी तो होगी ना इसमें? मक्खन मलाई।
मलाई अलग से बनाई जाती है इसकी।
अच्छा, ठीक है भैया जी। That was an interesting flavor. I think it's an acquired taste. It's crispy like a cucumber, sliced like a very thinly sliced cucumber, and somewhat mildly sweet. So you don't add spices to it, just eat it raw. I don't think I can have more slices of this in one go. One was good enough. And straight up ahead should be the Ram temple. Alright, so made it to the temple premises. Asked the cop, he says you queue up first and then eventually you'll end up at the locker to keep your bags and mobiles and stuff. So at some point I'm gonna have to stop vlogging and then see you after a short darshan break or long, depends how many people are inside. But until then you can keep enjoying the views of the temple.
A few inches later.
Just got done with the darshan of the Ram temple. I think that's another Ram temple, different one. And there's a main one out here. But there's a lot of renovations ongoing. So if you can defer it for a little bit, just do that, because I think there's stone grinding going on which makes it a little bit dusty. But I spent about half an hour since when I queued up here to get to the place where the statues are kept, the Ramji statue, and then I waited which took about half an hour, and then I waited 10-15 minutes because the curtains were closed. It was a prayer time at 12 noon, and then the prayer started at 12 noon, lasted about 10 odd minutes. I did the darshan and now I'm out. It's about 12:42 now, so keep about 2 hours or so when there is not so much traffic. And they have free lockers and free shoe counters here. But on the way out, I think while I was skipping around the lines to get to the temple premises, I ended up in the VIP line somehow. So I came out on the different side. And so I got out on the different side, and it was a little bit confusing trying to get back to the lockers to collect my stuff, but finally figured it all out. Now we're going to head back the same route to the marketplace where I came to the temple. There was Dashrathji's palace and Kanak Mahal or something like that. Probably his Lord Ram's childhood's place. We're going to go visit those two places as well before wrapping up the temple hopping. Got here just in time for the lunch break. It's 1 p.m. now. It's closed until 4 p.m. So just gonna leave from here. I guess most of the other temples will follow the same schedule as well. So gonna go to the Tedi Bazaar, I think, or whatever was the name of the market at the corner at the end of the road. Just gonna walk around, spend some way to kill time, and then when I get bored, get back to the room and rest up until 4 odd p.m. And then we'll start exploring the rest of the places. Alright, time to continue the exploration. Round 2 of walking tour around Ayodhya for the day. It's 4:30 p.m. I'm headed towards the Saryu Ghat side. There were also a bunch of eateries and shops along the way. So I skipped lunch, only had light snack that you saw in the previous clips. So gonna go grab some snacks, maybe some chai or coffee, and then we'll figure out where to go next from there. Could either continue all the way to the ghat or come back here and check out the Dashrath Palace that I found closed earlier today. We'll see, we're just gonna wing it. So they are splitting bamboo and they're gonna make this kind of makeshift barricades along that you could use as walls as well, temporary barricading. So they are splitting bamboo around. That's why they have a full stock over here. The city has actually come to life now in the evening hours. With all the lights turned on, it looks really amazing. And I also ran into a group of riders from West Bengal, just chatting with them. They came to do the darshan of the Ram Mandir, but they're doing that in the evening. And I just realized I was here yesterday for dinner and I saw they have this hot milk that's made in a deep dish. That's much better in the winters than coffee or tea. I'm looking for that. And this green leafy thing, if you know, you know. You can, it's being sold everywhere. I mean, it's not super discreet per se, but yeah, let's look for the hot milk. This is a nice combo: kachori, chole, yogurt, chutney and onions. Never had this combination before of kachori and chole mixed together. It's not overpowering with spices, no spicy. It's really good. I'm gonna have this and a plate of chow mein, and then I'll be on the way on the quest for some hot milk. That's evening snack sorted. There it is in the distance, the kadai wala milk being freshly prepared, boiling hot. काका एक कढ़ाई वाला मिल्क दे दीजिए, एक कढ़ाई वाला दूध दे दीजिए. So it seems like I got there just in time when they were making fresh hot milk. So it didn't get time to curdle up, not curdle up, but like densify and make a layer of cream on top. That tastes even better with the cream. Anyways, I had it, was nice, and I've done 20k steps nearly for the day. So gonna wrap up the vlog here, done exploring most of Ayodhya. Tomorrow I'll be on the move. So this is the Rustic Wanderer signing off. See you again in another episode of the India Darshan travel series.